What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building, just doing my thing, work, all that good stuff. But just want to drop a quick video, basically talking about Brian Shottenheimer, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about this guy. Like I am. I can't even front like I'm not. I just like listening to him, man. I just believe in, obviously the proof is in the pudding, but he's had. If you go look at the interview, go on my Twitter page or go look at 105.3 The Fan. They had a brief interview of Brian Schottenheimer. Um, Man, the dude, it just feels like, he had top running squads with the Jets, the Seahawks, and they're trying to. And when we heard about when Kellen Moore was here, and you heard from Boss, Jay Tuck, guys like that saying the offense didn't have an identity. It was, were we a run team? Were a pass team? We didn't know what we were because it never was consistent as far as the ebbs and flow of the game. And like I said, in my opinion, it just felt like Kellen Moore, from me watching it, it just seemed like he was like running to run just to get it kind of out the way. But we're kind of going to do these kind of plays. We're going to throw the ball. And, it just seemed like when we ran the ball, when we started getting on a roll, it would stop, or it would just be at inopportune times. Or when we felt like we had to get that 1 or 2 yards, we would do some gadget play or something like that to try to throw off the defense to try to get those extra couple yards. And I don't know if these were shots to Kellen Moore. I don't think they were. I don't think Schottenheimer was doing that. But when he said belief and identity, he said in this interview, we've got to be able to run the ball when the defense knows we're going to run the ball. When they're all up on the gas, when the linebackers are coming to the line of scrimmage, when it's an 8-9 man box, when everybody in the mama knows you're going to run this ball, we still need to be able to run this ball effectively and strong. And when he said the belief and identity is the belief that our receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, tight ends, that you got to be on your man. I saw times when there wasn't the blocking from the receivers. I seen times when, Hendershot or, he obviously they were rookies, guys missing blocks, and it hurt us. We could have had a big game, but guys weren't staying in their assignments or not putting the block the way they should, and Dallas suffered. So I just feel like when I listen to Schottenheimer, the belief and identity that we're going to run the ball, not that we're going to be irresponsible when we run this ball, but we're going to run the ball when teams know we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to be run effective, and we're going to get these first downs, and we're going to keep on doing it. I don't believe he meant to say that we're going to run the ball and just be not responsible with it and just, why do we keep running the ball on us now? I don't feel like it's like that. It's like we're going to run the ball when we need to. We're going to run the ball effectively. We're going to be a running team. But we're definitely going to throw the ball as well. And as he said, when you can run the ball effectively, play action happens. And I don't know about y'all, but Dak is a damn good play action quarterback. I feel like that's one of his strengths when he can come out to play action. I also think he's better under center. I understand that you're going to play in that shotgun. I get that. But I just think Dak is better when he plays under center, and you can have a traditional fullback behind him, and you can really operate off that play action because we have now the receivers and the guys to be able to really hurt you off play action. We have multiple threats now. Guys are stepping up. You've seen Jalen Brooks, our 7th-round draft pick, Kevontae Turpin stepping up. A lot of pressure on these guys because there's only going to be a certain amount of spots for the receivers, and, it's going to be a fight and a battle. But getting the blocking from your receivers, getting the blocking from your tight ends, understanding that, hey, we have to put that effort in to get this running game going so we can be more effective as an offense, the Texas Coast, as they're calling it, the Tex Coast, as they're calling it. But also, when I just really watched the interviews from Kellen Moore, and maybe this is just me reading it, I don't know. I'm just reading it. I'm not in that man's mind, so I can't actually tell you. But from afar, when I just watched his interviews, it just seemed like, yes, he was talking to the media, and yes, he brought out things, but it was almost like Jason Garrett interviews. They were bland, they were boring, and I don't need you to have exciting interviews for you to be a great coach. But it just seems like the engagement. I like my coach to be engaged. I like listening to Mike McCarthy. It feels like he's engaged. He gives you a good interview. It lets you know what's really going on. And I didn't feel that with Garrett. I didn't feel that with Linehan, and I damn sure ain't feel it when I watched Kellen Moore in his interviews. Am I saying he's not going to be a good offensive coordinator over the Chargers? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it just didn't seem like there was in syncness, right? That's the biggest thing with me. It didn't seem like there was in syncness with him and Mike McCarthy, and it didn't seem like that from A1 day one. Now, I said that I felt like the Joneses didn't make him keep him, but we're saying we want to see you with Kellen Moore. And they're saying, Mike McCarthy wanted to keep him. I don't feel like he had a choice to keep Kellen Moore. I feel like when he came over, Kellen Moore has still just started. There was explosive offense. They had top offenses. And I just feel like the Joneses were like, nah, go ahead and kind of roll with this and let's see what happens. And McCarthy did it. But I don't feel like McCarthy ever really wanted Kellen Moore, in my opinion. Just me. I don't ever feel like there was ever that dynamic where we were cool. We're going to make this happen. We're going to do this together. We're in this together, and let's make it run. Let's make a run of it. I never got that feeling from him. It always felt like it was friction. I always felt like, okay, I took you because I had to, and let's see how it happens. That's why I feel like he allowed Kellen Moore to fall on the sword easier and let him just kind of fall on his face so he could look back and say, hey, I kind of told you. Now can I get my guy in here and let's see how it works? That's what I feel. I feel like the dynamic is so much stronger with McCarthy and Schottenheimer and McCarthy. And also, Schottenheimer's older. Kellen Moore's still young. I think he's 33, 34. He ain't no old guy. And Schottenheimer's been there and done that. Kellen Moore is his only job. This is has been his only offensive coordinator job, and he got raised up through the ranks through Dallas. He didn't get raised up through the ranks through other teams. He got raised up through the ranks through Dallas. So it was easier for him to rise up through the ranks because he had the full backing of the Cowboys. Whereas Schottenheimer, he's been at multiple teams. He's been in this league a long time. He's got his dad. He's been here. You feel me? So he's seen this league from afar, and he's been coaching with different teams for a long time. So he's got years in this. And I feel like McCarthy is just more confident with him because you got more stripes. That's what Jerry said. I want somebody who's been in the foxhole. I want somebody who's got stripes. That's why he brought McCarthy over here. And I feel like McCarthy feels the same way with the offensive coordinator. Although McCarthy, they said, is going to be calling the plays. I think those two are going to really work in unison to make this thing work together. And I just love when I listen to Schottenheimer because he's engaging. I really believe he's there for the players. I heard him as a coach say, I want my players to be successful. That's when the coach will be successful, not the coach be successful, then the players. Put the players first. And I just feel like he is a player's coach, just much like Dan Quinn. And I just feel like the dynamic between him, Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, all these guys are in unison. One mind, one thought. And I feel like that's going to help the Cowboys rise above. Because when your coaches are not on the same page, that's what happens. You lose games that you shouldn't have lost because there's not unison in that. And I feel like it trickles down to your team. And that's just my opinion on it. So I'm just excited about Brian Schottenheimer. I like from afar, and he has done this. It's not like we're getting a new guy who ain't never coached in the NFL, who ain't never been an offensive coordinator, who ain't never seen this. This guy has got stripes and he's done it. So that gives me more excitement. I want somebody who's kind of been a veteran in this, somebody who's seen this, who's done that, and who's been there. Like Jerry said, I want somebody who's been in the foxhole. And I just feel like the dynamic between Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy is a lot smoother. It's going to be a lot more in unison, and I believe the team is going to benefit and it's going to follow because of that. And those two guys, I believe, are greatly going to benefit Dak and the team. We're going to see because, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. It sounds all good in paper, but you got to play the game, right? You got to play the game. But when I look at this and I see Brian Schottenheimer, in my heart, he has me. He has me believing that this is going to work. Now it's up to the players to put it on the field, and we can talk about it all day and all night, all we want, but it has to happen on the field. But from me afar, I like the hire. They had him in there last year. He got to see the wave of the team, get the pulse of the team, all those good things. But now it's time to make it happen, and I definitely believe this might not be that super explosive 40-point game, but it's going to be an effective, strong offense that's going to be able to hurt you in multiple ways. And I think that's what Dallas needs. And I'm glad that they brought Schottenheimer aboard. Like I said, some people didn't like the hire, said it was going to be the same thing. It's just going to be the same thing. But I'm going to step out in faith and say it's not. I'm saying it's going to be different. This offensive look is going to be different. And I don't think that the offense is going to just take off from week one, because I believe this team is going to lean on the defense, because this defense is going to be out of the world. But I believe come toward the end of the season, this offense will be a well-oiled machine, especially if we're healthy, and we'll be able to see the fruits of the labor by bringing in Shottenheimer. So that's my quick thoughts. Tell me how you like the video. Hit the like button, smash the like button, share it, all that good stuff. Shout out to my guy, Law. I just heard the news. I actually sent a message to him last week. But shout out to you, Law. I'm sorry about your loss. I lost my father 13 years ago. I didn't lose my mother, but I lost my father 13 years ago, and it was devastating to me, because we were just bringing our relationship together. So prayers up for you, homie. I know you're receiving calls from everybody and love from everybody, but I just want to tell you from my heart, Big Game James, for as I've known you for about 7 years now. I feel like we've shared a lot of things, and and I just I'm praying for you, for your peace of mind and calmness while the storm goes on. So if y'all get a chance, give a shout out to Law. Tell him thank you for all he's done, and help lift him up during this time of this tough time with the loss of his mom. So Big Game James, I'm out. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.